The ties of life run very deep in the great state of New Mexico. Yet many of us have either forgotten or know very little about what has perhaps had the most significant impact on the history of this beautiful state. One of the oldest, wisest, and most spiritual forces in the past and present of this land of enchantment, as well as the rest of the North American continent, are the century-old traditions and cultures of the Native American Indian. Each year, representatives from hundreds of tribes across North America gather in Albuquerque for 3 days to celebrate these traditions and cultures for everyone to see and enjoy. Welcome to the Gathering of Nations on this episode of Enchantments.
Hi everyone, I'm Mark Vasconcelos. Welcome to the Gathering of Nations in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
For over 23 years, Indian tribes from all over North America and Canada come to gather in New Mexico University's The Pit Indoor Stadium to launch the new powwow season. Apache, Iroquois, Mokashut, Pomo, Cheyenne, Shoshone, Chippewa, and Seminole are just a few of the hundreds of tribes represented at the Gathering of Nations, making it the largest indigenous gathering in the world. Founded in 1983 to promote Native American culture through song and dance, the Gathering is a spectacular event for all cultures and ages to enjoy.
What exactly does this powwow represent and why is it so important?
You know, this powwow here represents just the name itself, Gathering of Nations. To bring all these nations throughout the United States and also Canada to kind of kick things off. Gathering of Nations starts off the powwow season in end of April. People want to come out and bring out their new outfits, bring out their new beadwork, their new shirts that they made, or some of the singers want to sing some new songs that they made all winter. Gathering being also a competition powwow as it is, singers and dancers come to compete at their championship level because there's some really nice prize money, there's some nice trophies, jackets, and then not only that, the prestigious notoriety of being Gathering a Nation champion.
I'm here with Irene Bedard, actress, songwriter, singer, performer in general. What brings you to the Gathering of Nations?
Well, the Gathering of Nations is the place to be, isn't it?
Yes.
It's really a wonderful event. It celebrates Native culture from all over. It's really one of the biggest Native American events there is.
What does this event mean to you personally?
Well, you're getting a chance to see friends that you haven't seen, maybe since last Gathering of Nations. The Native American community is small. It's a small world, as they say, and we do know each other. We've got MySpaces and all those things now, and so people are making friends across the country. So this is a kind of event where you can, see people that you haven't seen in a while, you see relatives you haven't seen in a while. Bring your kids, bring your friends, your family, and just have a great day.
Thank you so much for visiting with us, and good luck at the Gathering.
Thank you.
Why is an event like the Gathering of Nations such an important event?
Well, it's the largest gathering of Indian people in the world. It's one of those events that, if you want to see or be seen, then you're here. People who participate in this, of course, there are champion dancers from all over the country, and this is one of the most prestigious powwows, so they want to be here.
So this event is also a very spiritual event in its history and the history of all the tribes that are involved. Can you touch on that subject a little bit?
Yeah, and that's a really good observation you made, because in the grand entry itself, when that drum starts, a lot of it, they refer to it as that heartbeat of Indian nations. And that eagle staff comes in and our dancers make their way onto that floor. See, they're bringing all that positive energy. They're bringing that spirit with them. So combined with all that good feeling, that positive energy and that good spirit, you know, it's all coming together in that one circle, and they dance around clockwise like that. When they make that circle complete with all them dancers, you can actually feel that that spirit starting to just accumulate and just get bigger and bigger, and everybody feels it, you know, fills up the whole place, and this is a big place. So all those outfits, all those eagle feathers, all those you know, the different bells and the different styles of each tribe. It's just an awesome feeling. All the tribes that come together, they all represent their own tribe, their own uniqueness, their own you know, their own distinction of their tribal ways, their tribal colors, their designs. So they're all proud of that. But they are similar in the way that you're talking about, the way they blend together is when they all dance together in the same category. All the traditional dancers from each tribe, but they'll all dance in the same traditional category, representing their own tribe. It's a time where all people come together, especially the Grand Entry, because all of our dancers are on the floor, and they're all dancing to one song. They're all in the same beat.
So we'll be up for 24 hours, basically, staying up, cooking, and keeping her going.
What keeps you going?
Bud Light.
Rainy, it's not out. We know why. Song and dance have always been a significant part of Indian storytelling and history, but now due to the powwow competitions, song, dance, and drumming are not only preserving culture, they are a true competitive event in the Native American world.
Throughout Indian country, there's probably over 500 nations represented. As far as the dancing and the singing style, a lot of it traces back to their own tribe's history. A lot of them don't have powwow in their culture, but over the course of the past maybe 3 or 4 decades, a lot of those tribes adopted that powwow style, that dancing and the singing, and accustomed it into their culture. So that's why probably over 200 tribes represented dancing. Dancing is a little bit the same too, as far as you know, the style of the dancer, dancing his style to his category, traditional, grass, fancy, or jingle, cloth. You know, the different movements, and these judges judge that dancer on their style, their regalia, their outfit they wear, keeping beat, rhythm with the song, stopping on time. Sometimes you can actually almost see that energy that those dancers have, and a lot of it reflects in their dancing. A lot of the dancers tell stories when they're dancing, and judges look at all kinds of different things, the way they conduct themselves too, not only on the dance floor, but maybe outside in the Indian community or outside, you know, socializing. You know, a dancer gains that respect and gains those years of experience in that circle too, so they put their time in too. They pay their dues, so to speak, you know, being out there and earning that respect.
What makes a good dancer?
Well, you know, I think you need to ask a judge about that, but there are people who dance with a certain style. They have beautiful beadwork, and a lot of that comes into play when you compete. I think your reputation has a lot to do with it as well, because there are people who compete all over the country, and they win different contests, and they start building a reputation as being a top competitor. So people look out for those types of dancers. They do a lot of work on their beadwork and put a lot of effort into what they're doing. Of course, a lot of outfits are passed down from one generation to the next, and you know, people are very proud of that. My outfit is made by my sister. She put a lot of heart and, you know, sweat into it, and so I'm very proud to wear it, and it'll be passed down to my granddaughter. So it's one of those things you keep in the family.
And what dances were you involved with yesterday and today?
The fancy shawl.
And do those dances symbolize anything or mean anything? Do you know that?
Well, it's a part of our tribe that we had to do. The gatherings come every year, and this is my first time dancing here.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to still dance,
Uh-huh.
and
What else do you like to do?
I would like to do the a jingle dress.
Uh-huh. Who made that costume for you?
Annie McGay.
How long does it take you to make one of these outfits?
Takes me, with the material outfit, it takes me at least 2 to 3 weeks. With the beadwork, it takes me a month and a half.
So you actually make all the beadwork too? Because that seems pretty meticulous.
Yes, I do all the beadwork for dancers that put in orders. I do different outfits for people from across the United States and Canada.
How long have you been making these types of dresses?
Well, my kids used to dance. My daughter was a jingle dancer, and I have 2 boys that used to grass dance. Now they're grown on their own, and they got me into this. They got me started, so now people's been ordering ever since my kids used to dance.
What competition were you in today?
The men's Northern Traditional, and we had an original style dance contest this afternoon.
And how did that go?
Oh, there's quite a few of us, and lucky enough to make it all the way to the top 3. So,
Excellent. What makes a good dancer?
I think makes a good dancer is that having the talent and the ability and knowledge, retaining what you see, what you hear, and expressing that through your dancing. And they said that you have all those things. It's in your heart, and you feel it when the drum beats, and from that, you become a good dancer.
The drum and singing teams appearing at the gathering are not only competing and being judged while they perform, they are also providing the music for the dancers while they dance in their competitions.
A lot of these singers have been singing around that drum from a very young age, and a lot of them, come up and grow with that drum. And then a lot of them are older, the veteran singers. A lot of them learn songs from their older ones, from their elders and stuff like that. And then a lot of the contemporary singers, the younger guys, they're making newer songs, making up-tempo songs with different words in them. The singing part, the way that's judged is the coming together of all singers, that they're all singing together, the explosiveness, the crispness of the voice of the different leads, the way that the song is sung, the style, and then not only that, they also watch the drum beat, the way they handle themselves, conduct themselves around that drum, and singing an appropriate song for an appropriate category. A lot of different categories have their own songs, specialty songs, contest songs. All of that reflects on judging.
It's a thrill to come fly here because it's this. You take off and it's fast, and you're flying fast, and you're landing fast, and it's exciting because you have all your other peers around you, and they're all having a great time flying.
Pork chops! Get your pork chops! Turkey legs!
Woo! My lips are tingling and my nose is running, and it's all because of you. All right. Is my microphone on? Am I rolling? Yeah. All right. Gotta love the color. Give me your best duck imitation. Quack, quack. There you go.
So we'll be up here for 24 hours, basically, staying up, cooking, and keeping her going.
What keeps you going?
Bud Light.
Well, I think I found some evidence. Let me introduce you to my friend. It's not a
Draw.
While the majority of costumes, headdresses, and ornaments needed for competition are made by the dancers and their families or by a hired costume maker, Native Americans as well as visitors attending the powwow can expect to find a plethora of Indian arts and crafts.
They could see everything, especially the vendors, the native arts and crafts vendors. I mean, they're getting a treat here in Albuquerque this weekend, being that, predominantly in the Southwest, there's a lot of Navajo, Apache, a lot of the Arizona and New Mexico tribes. And then Gathering of Nations brings some northern tribes as well, some tribes from the East Coast, from Oklahoma, from the Midwest, and they bring their arts and crafts.
The variety of Native American arts and crafts are numerous. Fine jewelry, Indian art, practical crafts, handcrafted musical instruments, modern Indian clothing styles, as well as traditional beads and feathers can be purchased by all attending the gathering. A food court is also on site, providing a variety of refreshments, traditional and non-traditional Native American specialties for everyone to enjoy.
What are kind of your dreams and aspirations doing the different powwows? What do you hope to achieve?
I hope to get worldwide and start being noticed and start running for royalties and probably sooner or later be Miss Indian World.
Another very important event at the Gathering of Nations is the immensely popular Miss Indian World Pageant.
How many contestants do you usually have each year in the pageant?
It varies. Some years we've had as high as 30 contestants and all the way down to about 18 contestants. This year we have 21 contestants from all over the United States and Canada.
And what are the requirements for the ladies to get into the pageant?
They have to be single, never married, no dependents, between 19 and 24 years of age, and they have to show proof that they're Native American at least 1/4.
What exactly are the judges judging throughout the course of the pageant for the ladies?
The judges are looking for Native women that are with strong speaking abilities, that are able to communicate effectively. They are also looking for women that are traditional in their own culture, in their own tribe. And we have several different judges throughout the pageant. We have public speaking competition, we have personal interview competition, we have a dance competition, and then we have the traditional talent competition.
With 1,452 points, representing the Porch Band of Creek Indians from Andalusia, Alabama, your 2007-2008 Miss Indian World is Miss Megan Young!
And how does it feel to be Miss Indian World?
It's the most overwhelming feeling that I have ever been faced with in my entire life. Words just cannot even express what I'm feeling right now.
What does this title mean to you personally?
This is something that I've wanted to do since I was 16 years old, and I never saw a way that I could do it. And once I was offered that opportunity, I took it. And what it means to me is, my tribe is getting represented now. The things that my grandmother and my great-grandmother have gone through, the stories that they've told me, it's it's just a really overwhelming feeling to know that I'm making them proud right now.
Why do you think this pageant is so important in general to all the Indian nations?
I think it goes back to the roots of the powwow. It's the gathering of nations, not just one nation, but all nations. And, I think that's what the reason it means so much, because you're not just representing your tribe or another person's tribe, you're representing all Native and Indigenous peoples all over the world.
Put your hands together. Some good dancing here. All right.
The spirit of competition weighs heavy on many of the contestants. Not only are they competing against their peers and colleagues, they're carrying the history and representation of their tribes on the laurels of their performance. Costumes are prepped, dancers eye their competition, and mentally prepare themselves for their turn, which many times leaves them exhausted and empty-handed.
the competitions are very big. They were created at the very beginning to encourage people to go back to their culture, to learn how to dance, to learn the songs. And so, of course, there was prize money for that. And as a result of that, people started dancing more, started singing. And so the contests are a great part of reviving the culture.
Why are the powwows so important?
They're important to us as, Indian people. This powwow comes from the northern tribes, our tribes. And this traditional dancing comes from our people, the Sioux people. And the grass dance societies we have. And we've come and we've shared that with many tribes across the country that didn't have powwows. And it's a reawakening of our Indian culture, our traditions. And there was a while back here that our children weren't part of our powwows and ceremonies. And now you look around here, you can see the young people, the youth, they're all dancing, they're all singing. It's a reawakening of their culture. And it gives hope to our elders, for they were worried that a lot of our ways were going to be gone. And what we try to do as we travel, those of us that have been doing this for a while, we try to express our dancing, our singing, and keeping it as most traditional as possible. And there's a lot of contemporary stuff that's coming into the powwow world today, and it's taken away from the Indian part of what we're doing. And, that part's a little scary. And we used to have a lot of powwows that our elders would sit there and they were our judges and our teachers. They're the ones that judge the contest. They judge the singing. And you have to be knowledgeable as a dancer and a singer to be a champion dancer. And that's what we want to instill in the young people, the traditions of our dances and songs. We try to do this in a way without hurting feelings, and trying to keep it as original as possible. It's important to us, to try to keep that and that feeling here, so we don't want nobody leaving here feeling bad. Everybody have a good time and enjoy themselves. And all of our friends that are here from all over the country, come here. And we come here once a year to Albuquerque, and we visit. A lot of the elders that can't travel from this area, we get to see them. We have to, come together as Indian people, no matter what tribe we come from.
The Gathering of Nations is a true definition of family. Many family members coming together as one, yet each member retains their individuality. It is living proof that we as a family of human beings can come together to celebrate our similarities, our differences, our spirituality, our love for Earth, our love for one another, and for life itself. One spectator summed up the importance of the gathering in these words.
I think it's important that everyone gets to know as many cultures as possible. Maybe it'll promote world peace.
We hope you enjoy the Gathering of Nations here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Join us again for the next episode of Enchantments, and until then, recycle, reduce, reuse, and keep your environment clean and green.
Madakyo Asi for all of our relatives.
We'll see you next time.